Hey guys, so today we're going to be making this organizer right here. One of my New Year's resolutions was to get more organized, and that didn't really happen, but that's okay. I mean, nobody really keeps their resolutions, right? Anyway, I finally decided to sit down and make this, and it's really not that hard. The only thing about it is that it takes a really long time. Like, this took me 2 nights, about 4 or 5 hours, because I had to interface each and every fabric to stabilize it and make it a little, solid and a little more stable, so that when I put my stuff in here, it doesn't like rip or something. So this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of fabric. These two pockets don't open that far out. They're just literally like pockets, like pieces of fabric sewn on here. This is one long piece of fabric that is pleated so that the pockets open up like this. And then there are 2 little elastics at the top so that you can hang this organizer onto your wall. Okay, so to start cutting your organizer, what you're going to need is about a yard of canvas fabric. So I cut about, this is a yard long, and I kept it as the same width that it originally comes in. I think this is about either 45 to 60 inches. You can see there's 2 layers, and once you have that cut out, this is going to be the base of your organizer. And then you're going to cut out the same dimensions in interfacing, and then you're going to basically fuse this onto the fabric, but only to one layer. For the 2 bottom pockets, what I'm going to have is a very long piece of fabric. So this is also about 60 inches long and about 10 to 12 inches wide. So there's that. This is going to be one of my pockets. And once you have that, you also have to cut the same thing in interfacing. And I'm going to make 2 of the exact same fabric, or the exact same pockets. Then for the very top pocket, I'm going to use a different type of fabric, and it's going to be about like 12 inches by 15 inches, and it's just going to lay flat. Those are going to be pleated over there so that there's room for the pocket to open and keep all your stuff. And then once you have all of this cut, just follow the instructions to fuse your interfacing onto your fabric, and then fold the edges on all of these and go ahead and hem them before you sew anything together. Okay, so here's my fabric. This is the one that I'm going to use for the 2 top pockets, and here it is with the interfacing on the back. I just use regular fusible interfacing, and then I folded in the edges and I hemmed it. So that's how it's going to look on the inside, and that's the front of the pocket. So here's the base piece, and I did the exact same thing. I fused some interfacing on the back just to make it a little sturdier, and here's how the pockets are going to go, the top ones anyway. So you just pin them down, and then you sew the 3 sides like this, but leave the top open so you can actually put stuff in there. And then here is my bottom pockets. These are the ones that are going to be pleated, and I did the same thing. It's interfaced on the back, and I folded in the edges and hemmed them. I didn't do the bottom because I'm going to pleat this, and then I'm going to have to put a base stitch in it and then sew it to the bottom, or sew it to the base piece. So it's a lot easier to just keep it how it is now so that I can pleat it. And to start pleating it, basically you're going to lie it down like this, and then determine how big the pockets are. So let's see, I think I am going to settle for 2 pockets, or maybe 3. I think I'm going to do 3 pockets. So the pleats are going to be like this, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it because I'm not like a perfectionist or anything, and keep it about ½ an inch away from the edge because you're going to stitch the bottom layer on. And then So there's my first pleat, and then my pocket's gonna end about right here. So I'm gonna make my second pleat right there, and bring it in like that. It's about 2 inches, and then fold this part over and make another pleat. As you can see, these are box pleats, so just to make the pockets themselves very, I don't know, like big, so that I can keep more stuff in there. And here's where my pocket's going to end, so I'm going to pleat right here. And then fold this over like that. And then fold this over right here. And there you go. So that's how my pleats are going to be. Then you're going to just run a base stitch through this so that it's stable and you won't have trouble when you sew it onto the pocket or when you sew it onto the base piece. Okay, so once you have your pockets pleated like this is going to be the bottom, and then the top of the pockets are obviously hemmed already. Hopefully you did that. If not, then good luck. Go ahead and lay it down where you want it on the base piece. So I kind of want mine about right there, and I'm going to sew it on like this first so that it gets rid of the seams. So you're going to want to flip it over, pin it down, and then sew it onto, using a straight stitch, sew it onto the base piece. Okay, so once you've sewn the pleated pockets onto, the bottom of it onto the fabric, just flip it over like this, like how it would look like. You can top stitch this right here at the bottom of the pockets for like that clean look, but I'm not going to just because I like the way it is right now. And then just stitch up the sides and stitch up that side, and then open these flaps up right here and just sew a straight stitch down the middle, and that'll separate each pocket. And then do the same thing for this side, just like open these flaps and then sew a straight stitch down the middle between the two pleats. Okay, so once you have everything sewn on, like all your pockets and everything, you are going to either take 2 strings or make your own. I'm just going to use the elastic because I'm kind of lazy, but you guys can just take like 2 pieces of fabric, sew them together, turn it inside out, and then top stitch it or something. But here's my string or my piece of elastic, and I'm just going to fold it like this, and we're going to put it at the top of the organizer, like about there, and pin it down. And then do the same with your second piece. So fold it like this, and pin it down on the other side. Then you're gonna take the other piece of the base piece and lay it on top, facing together, right sides facing together. Make sure to get all the pockets inside. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna straight stitch all the way around. Make sure not to catch like the tops of these pockets, because that'll make them pretty much useless. And then, but make sure to catch the strings right here, because that's what you're going to be using to hang the organizer on your wall. So once you do that, remember to leave about a 4 to 5 inch opening so that you can flip everything right side out. Go ahead and flip everything out. It's going to take forever, but you can do it. And now all you really need to do is sew this closed, and just, you can do this by hand or by machine. You're a perfectionist, do it by hand, but I'm not, I'll be honest. And I'm just going to top stitch this, and then I will be done and I can start organizing. So here's my organizer. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. It's very neat. It's a really neat tool to have around, and it's very useful. You can keep like tons of things in there and keep all your stuff organized. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below.